It looks like your glass is empty. Would you permit a stranger to buy you a fresh drink, madame? Carlos smiled at the pretty lady. My name is Carlos. If you'll excuse me for being forward, you are stunning. Simone studied his face, looking to see if she knew the stranger. Their eyes met, and she could hardly believe that this powerful, good-looking man who was tastefully dressed was really addressing her as a lady. She realized she'd forgotten she really was one. Before Simone could answer, a heavy hand grabbed hold of her arm. She tried to pull away and failed. Let's go, Simone. I have a perfect gig for you this afternoon, Spencer said with no greeting. In fact, the crew is waiting on you now. Carlos, completely unimpressed with Spencer's interruption, continued. And if the drink refresh finds favor with you, perhaps you would consent to have a little dinner as well. Spencer was in a hurry and was now fairly annoyed at Simone, but this new guy was really chafing him. Carlos still had trouble sleeping at night. The 2 heavy fight incidents with all the injuries he had sustained, plus the pain medication, gave him fitful sleep when he did drift off. This night's sleep wasn't any better than the last few weeks, but tonight something else seemed wrong. Carlos woke with a start just before his cell phone chirped that he had received an SMS message. He didn't reach for the phone right away, because in the faint night light of his room, he could just barely make out someone sitting in the chair across from the bed, staring at him. The imagery of running with the desert specters flashed through his mind, and he had to fight against being seized by fear. He resisted the urge to call out to the penetrating eyes that looked at him with such malevolence. The figure moved ever so slightly. Then he noticed the glint of a gun barrel pointed at him. I remember you and our vendetta. Come to finish the job, have you? Buzz was clearly confused and thought she was hallucinating due to her beating. He supported her with his arm and started, Honey, this is... Carlos stared intently at Zara and interrupted, Dakota. She knows me as Dakota. Zara remembered their past association, but why she had wanted to kill him now escaped her. His face was so perfect, and yet she realized Buzz was more handsome and not as dark. He was protecting her. Zara nodded and agreed. That's right. He's Dakota. I was going to shoot you that night, but it didn't work out. Turnabout is fair play, so now you get to have your revenge. Be quick about it and don't make a mess of it. Nothing else has gone right today. Why would I think you could properly kill me with the first bullet? I just hate days that end like this. Carlos answered the door and was dumbfounded. It had been years. With that practiced, hopeful smile, she purred, Hello, Dakota. It's been a while. Can we talk? I'd like to come in and visit if that is possible for one such as I. Carlos smiled wistfully. His thoughts flashed back to the lovely woman he'd worked for in order to find his brother Juan. Zara was of medium height and still thin. Her fine-boned face held her expressive dark eyes, framed by her nearly black shiny hair, shorter than he recalled. Hello, moja duszeczka. You look more elegant than the last time we were together. I see you didn't bring your 9mm Luger this time, so it must be a social call. Sucking in her breath to steady her fluttering heart, she clearly saw the man who had used her love to his own advantage. He was a good head taller and his dark hair a bit shaggier, but those dancing espresso-colored eyes were still the same. You know, I was mad that night. I'm not sure if I was really going to shoot you or not. Carlos chuckled and said, Well, you didn't miss the pillow I threw at you. Now, after all this time, why show up here? Last time we met, Buzz, Jacob, and I were taking you to the hospital for some warranty work. What happened to you and Buzz? Zara went cold as her eyes threatened to release some tears. Yes, Buzz. How nice you remembered. I think I am not the kind of female that, nice men hold on to. Carlos sensed Zara was either on another con, or really on the verge of breaking down. You know that I know who you are. If this is another confidence scam aimed at me, I'm the wrong mark, Zara. I've got a lovely, successful wife. I'm not looking for a plaything nor any illegal action for a quick score of cash. You know me well enough to know that I can't help but be drawn in by a horrific tale of woe. I trust it to be good and convincing. Don't forget the tears along with the drama.
Let's hear it.